Peace. The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Let me tell you about a man named Randall Rhodes. He was born and raised in the North, but he loved the Southern way of life, and he'd fight to the death for the Southern cause. He marched on down to the fields of cotton, where he met up with General Mosby's gray ghost. The general gave Randall the rank of colonel so he could fight with the brave men in gray. Now Colonel Randall Rhodes fights for the bonnie blue flag, and that's what Colonel Randall Rhodes brings. He brought fire, he brought freedom, he brought love, he brought war, and he said, to hell with the stars and stripes, I'm fighting for the stars and bars, and to hell with your war of aggression, I'm fighting for the war of independence. And he'd march on down to the fields of cotton for a southern nation, and the gray ghost fights for the bonnie blue flag. And that's what Colonel Randall Rhodes brings.
Yes, that is indeed what Randy Rhodes, Colonel Randy Rhodes, brings to the crowd. I like my hat. I don't get to wear it that often, but I figured today would be a good day to wear my hat. So, why am I here today at this time of day? Well, it just happens to be a good time to do a shout out to my friends, to my followers, to everybody who at some point in time has touched me in one way or the other, good and bad. But no, seriously, folks, I wanted to jump on here real quick to talk about what is up and coming. Ooh, I can see me on Facebook. Hi. No, but seriously, folks. So Jen Woodruff, otherwise known as Jen, the homeschooling mom, or some people like to add in the grandmom because she is a grandmother now, and she really loves that role. So until she says otherwise, I'm just going to refer to her as Jen, the homeschooling mom. She has created, let me show this to you, a really, really neat image. I'm going to, it has to have a slight change to it, but I'm going to show this to you to show you what we have up and coming. Boom, there it is. All Roads Lead Home podcast with Randy Rhodes and co-host Jen Woodruff. And look at that beautiful cabin. Oh my God. Don't you just want to go out there and live in that cabin and out there. I know I would. I would jump to it in a heartbeat, and you talk about, well, you got to mow the grass. Well, you get a couple goats, they'll take care of it. But yeah, my wife, she sees more than 2 trees in the yard, and that's it. That's one tree too many. So I would never be able to live life like that, at least not as long as I'm married. But yeah, so this is what she created. It's beautiful. All she has to do is add in the time, which is going to be Tuesdays and Thursdays at 7 p.m. Okay. Now you're asking, why only those 2 days? Well, I'm glad you asked that question. That's a very good question to ask. So the reason why we chose only these 2 days is because she has other obligations, which is Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. She will be on the American Rebellion show, and Tuesdays and Thursdays. She's going to be on our show, and then she has chosen, wisely so, that Saturdays and Sundays are her days to enjoy life with her husband and family, which every podcaster of any doesn't matter if you have 1 million followers or only 6 followers, every podcaster needs to spend time with the family. Oh, that's good. So why am I here? Well, for a couple of things. So Jen and I both share the same interest in history. Okay. So she wanted so much to do a broadcast, boom, about this, the Constitution. Okay. So we're going to have a series of podcasts where we take apart this little book and we discuss the Constitution. Okay. But what I am going to do is take some time and see how this matches up to this, the Constitution of the Confederate States of America. To be honest, I have no idea where I got this from. It might have been in a box of donations, because I always ask folks, look, if you have books and magazines about the various wars that you no longer need, please don't throw them away. I'll take them. I'll pay something for them. Okay? Because my library becomes my source of research material for what I do. And as long as I draw a breath, I'm going to keep doing it. So this book, besides this book, okay, we'll be discussing this. Now, we do have, give me a moment here to gather my stuff together. Yeah, that's the one I want. We do have this. Unfortunately, Tuesday, whatever day it was last week, we were going to be, Jen and I was going to have a show with Matthew Holmes, the author, concerning the last book in our particular series of reviews, The Road to Hell and Back. His schedule got to be too busy, and we had to cancel. So Tuesday coming up, next Tuesday, we will be discussing this book here. And I want to tell you what, it is a doozy, folks. You really need to get your hands on his books. He has agreed to do a bundle so you can save some money. He has also mentioned about autographing the books if you buy them directly from him, as opposed to getting them through Amazon. But this book will be discussed on Tuesday. His other books that we had discussed previously was The Spirit of Vengeance. This book here concerned the author's family taking revenge against the Union soldiers for killing their uncle because he would not turn over his land to the Union soldiers. This one here, Blood in the Mountains, again, it's about Matthew's families and fighting up in the mountains and the amount of blood flowing into the river and streams and so forth because of the horrific battles. Hell in the Cell, folks. This is about his ancestor who was in prison at point. Oh my goodness, it was in Maryland. Point something. My apologies. Too many books. Chemtrails over Dixieland. This is a very good book. It is not his usual books. This here is more political. It talks about chemtrails and how the government is using the weather to manipulate the weather to do various things. It also talks about the Epstein list. Talks about sexual children are predators and things like that. A very good book is a twist from his normal talk about his family and the war between the North and the South. This one here is going to be a December broadcast because this one here is 500 pages long. I've already started reading it. It is called The War That Never Ended, Secede Your Mind from Modern World. 500 plus pages, folks. This is going to take me a while to read. Also, we are going to be developing bookmarks, Jen and I, okay, to offer to the public. These bookmarks will cost you $3 each. They are very hard, very almost like a plastic kind of material, okay. And that $3 includes shipping it out to wherever you're at. So however many you want, that includes the shipping. So if you want 3 bookmarks, that's $9. Shipping is going to be included in that. Just so you're aware of that. Now, once Jen and I get past Tuesday, we're going to be discussing other topics. The Constitution, obviously. So what we might do is do like half of the broadcast is going to be about the Constitution, whether it's going to be the Confederate or the federal. The other half is going to be about a different topic. She had a lot of interest in what we're going to be doing, which is pretty cool. Why did I freeze there? Hang on one second, folks. Why did I freeze? Okay, there we go. Okay. So we're still live. A book I started reading off the side is this one here. A friend of mine sent this to me. It's called The Civil War, Strange and Fascinating Facts. It has some really interesting things of what occurred during the war. One topic I thought was kind of cute that we might talk about is Mr. Lincoln's beard and why he grew it and so forth. There's some here about the various battles and weird things that happened. So that might be, I'm going to glance through it and see how many broadcasts we get out of this book. The other thing that she has a lot of interest in, and so do I. Let me just get these. I'm so fortunate to folks who sent me books because they were going to throw them away, and they heard about me. And they said, "Hey, Randy, we have these books. Would you be interested in them?" And I'm going to tell you what. I said, yes, abso-freaking-lutely. So she was very much interested in ghosts in Gettysburg. Now, obviously, a lot of the battlegrounds has to have some kind of spiritual thing going on because of the nature of the battles and the horrific ways men died. It is said that if a person just dies normally, like in bed, they fall asleep and they don't wake up the next day, their spirit, their soul went either to heaven or to hell without any problems. Nothing's left behind. No residual spiritual whatever is going on. I'm not sure about my mom's case because I do hear from my mom every now and then, and I'm serious about this, folks. I truly am serious. My mom has passed away, and there are occasions when she still reaches out to me. Honest, may God strike me dead. She does reach out to me, and that is I want to tell you about that is scary as hell. Um, but she was very much interested in the ghosts of Gettysburg. So I'm not sure how I got these. Here is a book. It's called Ghosts of Gettysburg. Okay. I know I have a glare. I'm not sure where the glare is coming from. Ghosts of Gettysburg. And this one here is more Ghosts of Gettysburg. I know there's video about the ghosts, so we'll be incorporating that, okay, along with the broadcast itself. This one here, what is this bookmark from? Oh, that's from the church you used to go to. Interesting. Okay. Um, this one here is Civil War Ghost Stories and Lessons. I'll be looking at that and seeing if there's anything in here worthwhile. Give me 1 second. I would like to respond to this, okay? 1 second. I apologize, folks. Give me 1 more second. Boom. Okay. So, Ghost Gettysburg, that's a topic that Jen says she's really interested in, okay? We're also going to be discussing historically correct about the war because we know that unfortunately the winner of the battle gets to write the books. Okay, they get to rewrite history. That is why sometimes when I'm doing genealogy and I'm working on a folks' branch and I come to a dead end, and it just usually because that person lived during a time of war and their side lost. Because what happens is the winner comes in, the stronger military comes in, they're wiping out churches, they're wiping out courthouses, they're wiping out libraries, they're wiping out the history of that person's town, county, territory, country. So they are going to rewrite history the way the winner wants the people to remember it by. Okay. So this one here is called Facts the Historians. I can talk. Facts the Historians Leave Out, a Confederate Primer. I get the impression this might have been like a school book because of the word primer. I have not looked at this one yet. I have a feeling that there might be more books to this series. So this would be a very interesting topic to discuss Tuesdays and Thursdays. I'm going to look into getting more of these letters from home. You know, it is amazing how even in times of war, it doesn't matter what time period, revolutionary, civil, War of 1812, World War I, World War II. It doesn't matter what war, okay? a loved one right into the combatant, or the combatant right into the loved one. I don't know how what it went through to get there, but they were able to exchange letters back and forth. It might have taken weeks to catch up to the person in combat, okay, or back home, but eventually the letters do make their way home. So this would be an interesting topic to see what the soldiers wrote to and from their loved ones. Um, okay, these here, and again, folks, forgive me, I don't know where these came from. Are also part of my library. These are very old books. Okay, very old. You can tell by the material. You can tell by the I want to say the coloration, the discoloration. Uh, it looks like it's been. You know how if you find those documents from way back when, and it's of a papyrus type of material, and it's kind of like looks like it's dirty. You know, this is what these look like here. But these here are the various primary battles. Okay, Vicksburg, Shiloh, Petersburg, Manassas, everyone's favorite, Gettysburg, and what started the world together, Fort Sumter, Chickamauga, Antietam. And if I'm not mistaken, I might have the rest of these books. They came out many years ago. I'm not sure why they came to an end, but I know they're online. But I don't think they're in the book form. They're like a PDF now. So I'm going to look into that. But these should be topics as well. And, you know, one thing we're going to make sure of is that these broadcasts don't turn into like a classroom. Okay. There'll be no tests. There'll be no pop quizzes, nothing like that. What it's going to be is a simply Jen and I discussing history and how it impacted us today. And if we can, we'll bring in today's world events um, and how it may have been uh, uh, developed because of what happened back then. Okay. And if folks, obviously the success of these broadcasts is going to be based on you watching it and the uh, interaction between you and us through the comments or through coming and joining us live on the broadcast. So if you have an interest in any of this, please jump on board. Let's make it a co-host plus a guest, whatever. And let's have fun. Okay. One thing I learned when I was in high school is that my teachers made history fun. They did different things. They were funny. They were comical. They brought in like military type toys to show what how things were, and they made it interesting. They really did. Okay, so that's all I wanted to jump on board here about, and that was to show you um, uh, what the next few weeks are going to be like. Um, Folks, also, please, I'm trying to create an intro to my broadcast, to our broadcast now with Jen. I just don't know how to do it. And to be honest with you, I don't have the time to learn something new right now because I got all these other responsibilities going on. So if you know of someone or if you yourself can create an introduction for me, that would be phenomenal. Okay. And I would really, truly appreciate it. So that's all I wanted to discuss. I realize it's Saturday. No one popped into the comment section, unfortunately. Let me just back out of here and check a couple other spots just to make sure I didn't miss any possible comments, because I really don't want to make it look like I'm ignoring anybody. People are watching, that's for sure. I'm seeing right now 20 views. They're just not commenting. That's kind of sad. Let's just make sure I didn't miss any possible. Yeah, I know. Stop talking to yourself. No comments there. No comments there. Let's go back to here. Okay. No. Okay, that's kind of sad. Yeah. Okay. So no comments, which is fine. Again, these were this was an unexpected broadcast, so I understand why there's no one here. So moving forward, Tuesdays and Thursdays at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, Jen, the homeschooling mom, and myself. This first coming Tuesday, it will be to discuss Matthew Holmes' last book we have right now in the series of broadcasts. Let me get to it here. This one here, The Road to Hell and Back. Also, just so you know, let me quick bring it up here. A gentleman saw how I was doing a broadcast with Matthew Holmes, and he really liked it. And he has a book that he just released, and he would like me to get my hands on it, read it, and then do broadcasts about it. And here's the book, The Legend of Willow's Hollows by Ben Walker. I have no idea what it's about. I have a feeling by the title what it might be about, because there was a TV series a while back about the Legend of Sleepy Hollow. Yeah, that was a great series. I loved it. Oh my God, yes. So he wants me to get my hands on this book, read it, and then bring him on for a broadcast like Matthew, and then to talk about it. So we'll be doing that. I won't be able to get it until perhaps next week. My book buying funds are low, so that might have to wait till Wednesday. Who knows? Maybe before. I don't know. But so I'm going to be taking care of that, and this is going to be fun. Tuesdays and Thursdays, 7 p.m. Who knows? Yeah, it's just going to be fun. It really is. I just want to do one last thing here, folks. I'll find this one thing here. See, by my delaying getting jumping off here is a way of letting people have one less chance at coming on board here and talking to me. Wow, what happened? I'm missing something here. I don't know what those. Huh, interesting. I don't know what this is. Let me play this. I'm not sure what this song here is. I may just bounce it out, but let's end on a musical tone, okay?
be a fire eater, or in other words, a very devoted Southern nationalist and hell-bent on Southern secession of the illegally occupied Confederate States of America. Illegally held hostage by the United States of America. We live in a time corrupt politicians blatantly ignore the Constitution and do everything to dismantle our beloved Southern culture. They continue to destroy our monuments to our gallant Confederate heroes. They continue to keep our people in poverty and do everything to do away with our Southern accent. This, my friends, is what is called Southern cultural genocide, and it must be stopped by divorcing the United States of America in what we call secession by becoming a separate nation. Matthew Holmes is a proud Southerner, a proud Southern author who honors his Confederate ancestors.
Yeah. Okay. That is a good way to bring this show to an end. Yes, my friends. And I am also part of the group that's going to be sending letters out to senators and congressmen saying, leave us go. Let us go home. Let us have our own nation. Yes. I am part of that. I'll probably wind up in jail. I don't know. Anyways, folks, it's been great. You guys have been great. Thanks for being here. Don't talk so much next time. Keep the noise down in the back there, and we'll have a really good show next week. Tuesdays, 7 o'clock p.m. Thursday, 7 o'clock p.m. Please join us. Guys, without you, there is not us. And that's the facts. Take care.